Hey everybody! So this whole D&D stories thing is pretty fun. I've told you some of my favourite tales, but there's a few more things I wanted to share with you. The stories I have thus far are only a fraction of the sum total, but there's a lot of them that I can't pad out into a full story. So instead, here's a collection of tales from various different campaigns that, while funny, aren't as grand as the others. This first one comes courtesy of Alex. In most of our sessions, we tend to start off in bars, Alex of which really likes to steal from. The problem comes by the fact that Alex doesn't tend to put a very high number into his stealth stat. To my knowledge, he has been caught on every single occasion, and each one has ended with him being in a fight. One particular one was where he was thrown out of a window by the barman and then beaten into the ground. He lost maybe 20% of his health to a fight that didn't need to be started. The battle only ended because the tavern owner fell on his back, to which Alex fired a critical success magic missile up his arsehole, causing him to fly over the ocean. And with the barman now out of the picture, Alex proceeded to not steal anything else. As well as stealth, his intelligence is never too high either, and I'm not talking about his character sheet. But he isn't the only one to be completely innocent. Ben once investigated a house and saw a family of father, mother and 2 daughters eating round a table. After the dad asked what he was doing, Ben's reflex was to use a fireball spell on the dad, which caused him to spontaneously combust. He ran around in agony, falling over the table where his family was sitting, setting the wooden table on fire, as well as what soon became the entire house. Then the wife fled the scene with her 2 daughters, now traumatized, having seen their father melt away because of some stranger who broke into their home. And just to add a little bit more insult to injury, Michael found a gnome who lived next door and tossed him in the fire as well. I can't promise you happy stories here. Michael does some pretty random things a lot of the time. During one session, he decided that every person that was killed, he would teabag, an act made only slightly funnier by the fact that Michael, during this campaign, was role-playing the race of a giant turkey. Michael likes to make good use of animals whenever he can. One such example is Michael's one-time sheep named Mint Sauce. Attempting to enter a walled-off city, Michael tried to toss Mint Sauce over the wall, but due to a rather low strength stat, Mint Sauce crashed skull first into the concrete wall. But fortunately, upon hearing the noise, a guard opened the gate to see what was happening, to which Michael tossed Mint Sauce again, this time at the guard, and knocked him out instantly. I guess sheep really can send people to sleep. But I shouldn't forget Ben's inevitable bouts of weirdness, like one session where he decided he would name his character the Well-Endowed. And for some reason, Ben believed this gave him the power to have a shape-shifting penis, which quickly became a work-all utensil, a Swiss Army knob if you will. The reason I didn't call him out for it at the time was because this was also a session where Ben had adopted a homeless man to donkey punch anyone he wanted. My mind was preoccupied. I'm kind of light on stories when it comes to Sapphire, because despite being one of the first people I played D&D with about 5 years ago, we rarely get to speak face to face. She's busy at university getting an education. I've also been kind of light on my own stories, and that's because I'm usually the DM for the group. Of course, when I DM, I have to make non-player characters, and like any good person, I give them the stupidest voices I can imagine, but there are those times where I've lost control over what I say. For example, there was one instance where I used the voice of a rather grisly bloke, but my general inability to speak properly made it sound like I was talking in broken English and with a weird East European accent. To which one of my friends replied,
"Is that the Terminator?"
I definitely did not intend this to be the Terminator. In response to this, one of the party tried to hit him with an axe, so after rolling the checks, my brain wanted to say, he lifts his hand and grabs the axe handle, stopping your attack. But what I actually said was, he stops the axe with his hand. To which my party started thinking this guy just had a giant halberd sticking out the palm of his hand and was completely fine with it. My party says again, "Holy shit, it is the Terminator!" So my brain responded by saying, "Fuck it, let's just fight the Terminator!" And if you're wondering how that fight ended, it climaxed with the enemy losing and being diced into small cubes that they used as pet food. The party called them Arnie Bites. I make a lot of slip-ups whenever I speak. Another example was when an NPC wanted to give Alex a gift, and instead of saying, he pushes the present towards you, what I actually said was, he inserts the present into you. Don't question what goes on in my head, I have enough trouble working it out myself. But that's the most of it. Thank you for watching my short series of sex, drugs, and bad dice rolls. Also, thank you again to Masumi-chan for doing the character art and Master Sword Remix for the music you are currently listening to. I also want to give a giant shout out to my resident D&D troupe, Michael, Ben, Sapphire, and Alex, for not only providing their voices for some of these videos, but for also being just awesome people. I really don't say it enough, but I love you guys. How about we meet up again soon? Create some new stories for next December. I promise I won't embarrass you further. Wink!